YouTuber Spotlight, YouTuber Spotlight, YouTuber Spotlight, oh yeah! Hello guys and welcome back to YouTuber Spotlight, and today we'll be looking at Icehairs Stuff. Here we are, here's Icehairs Stuff, this is his channel. There's me! Come on, let's get on with it. Let's find out why we should look at and like Icehairs Stuff. So first of all, I came across Icehairs Stuff a little while ago through another channel. It was actually through My Name Is Not Lily, and basically what really sort of stuck out to me about this channel was his pacifist Let's Play. And in fact, at the time, I don't think there was any pacifists on the go at all, at least not to my knowledge. And he started off a pacifist series in Oblivion. And for those of you who are not aware, a pacifist is a person who does not cause any harm to people, and most certainly does not kill people. And as you could imagine, in a game like, well, in an Elder Scrolls game, for example, in fact in any standard RPG game, killing is a major part, but playing it as a pacifist makes it an entirely different experience altogether. So I would thoroughly encourage you to go check out Icehairs Stuff. The other thing is that poor old Icehair has got 343 subscribers, and he did get a little boost when Kiko started to do the Birthright Let's Play at the same time that he did, and it was a crossover of interests. However, I really believe that he needs a lot more views and he needs a lot more attention for what he does, because it's very entertaining and enjoyable for me to watch, and I'm pretty sure that you're going to find it the same. Anyway, that's a little overview of why I think we should have a little look at Icehairs Stuff. And what I think we should do now is have a little word with him. So let's have a word with Icehairs Stuff.
Hello, Sam, and thank you for placing me in the spotlight.
Not a problem, and welcome to YouTuber Spotlight, and thank you very much for taking the time to speak to us and answer our questions. Let's get started, shall we? Firstly, if you were granted 3 wishes by a mystical magical force, what 3 things would you wish for?
Let's see, world peace, a 500 terabyte hard drive, and a cat that doesn't make me sneeze. Oh wait, that's what my Skyrim character really is, I guess.
Alright, that was quite quick off the mark as well. Okay, and quickly moving on, if you were stranded on a desert island, what 3 items would you take?
That depends. Is there internet access on that island? Because a longish holiday making and watching Let's Plays on some remote island doesn't sound so bad. But if the island is really deserted, then probably a boat, a friend who knows how to navigate, and enough supplies of food and water to get us back to computer-powered civilization, I guess.
That's funny, because you're the first person that's ever even mentioned something about getting themselves off the island in the first place. Anyway, moving on, let's talk about games that you want to play. Are there any games that you're just dying to play, or that you really want to play?
Are there any games that I'm dying to play? Well, I'm sort of monogamous when it comes to games. I don't play many games at all, but the ones I really fall in love with, I'm just always dying to play whatever game I'm in love with at the moment. And right now, that game is still Skyrim, so yeah, as soon as we're done talking, I will probably be dying to play it some more.
Yeah, that's a fair answer. I think, actually, personally, I probably is quite similar to you in that regard. So I do have quite a collection of games, but they're all quite old, and any new games that I've got is very few and far between. Although indie-style games I generally get. Let's move on. So what inspired you to start Let's Playing in the first place and make YouTube videos?
That's kind of a long story, actually, but for me it kind of started with playing the Elder Scrolls games. Probably way too much and for way too long. Especially Morrowind, it's almost embarrassing even to just count all the characters I have there. But, you know, they were all trying out different things, okay? Different skills, mods, quests, or better yet, making different choices in the same quests. You know, playing different roles. That's why they call it a role-playing game, right? You try to give your character or characters some personality. So I had my benevolent thieves guild kleptomaniac, my honourable but merciless orcish legionary, my insane racist dark elf, and no offence to your Hexam character, of course.
It's alright, he's a raging racist as well.
It was just when I was almost bored with the whole game. It all came alive for me again when I suddenly had this idea of making a pacifist, a character that focused only on the non-combat skills in the game, because playing like that was like a completely different game. That's when I realized I needed a way to sort of document the progress of that character, to have a way to tell that character's story in a form that didn't just disappear once I exited the game. Something that I could maybe share with others. So I tried sort of blogging about it, but I got bored with that because it took me a lot of time to write about the game rather than actually play it. And then one day, much later, I was working and I guess I was suffering withdrawal symptoms for playing too much Oblivion. And I was looking for Elder Scrolls music on YouTube on my work laptop. But instead, I found this guy called Gix, and he was recording himself playing Morrowind and talking about it while he was playing. And I thought, right, that's what I want to do when I make a pacifist character in Oblivion. That's how I can document my pacifist progress and share it. So yeah, that's how I discovered Let's Plays, I guess.
Okay, that's quite an insightful and very comprehensive reply. Moving on to the YouTubers themselves, are there any YouTubers on here that you really like? If so, why? Why do you like them?
No, I hate everyone. No, of course there are lots of YouTubers that I like. But since you probably don't have 3 hours for the whole list, I think anyone who's ever come across My Name Is Not Lily just has to like him. Not only is he the most accomplished, immersive, thorough role player and Let's Player out there. I mean, the man takes notes about his playing, for crying out loud. But he's also just the nicest, most helpful person you could ever imagine. Nobody would have seen my channel at all if he hadn't blogged about me, and yeah, it's a real shame the Voltron Army site got taken down, because he had some really useful instruction videos there too. Let's see, who else do I really have to mention? Variax maybe, and Spiffy McSqueak, because they're funny Let's Players with good Elder Scrolls series. And then there's Kikoski, of course, who's a real comedian doing nearly all the good old games I remember from 10, 20 years ago even. And let's not forget Samyoul Online, of course, very important, very important.
Yeah, very important indeed. In fact, it's funny because you're the first person that's even said me. So what sort of thought process goes in behind choosing what you want to play?
I like to call my Let's Play projects experiments, because it usually starts with something I want to try out. Like, can I play a pacifist in Oblivion? Or can I be the Dragonborn in this new Elder Scrolls game that just came out, called Skyrim, and still not kill people? At least unless I absolutely have to. Yeah, then just for pure nostalgia, really, I've also done some old turn-based games that I've enjoyed since the 90s, really, like Warlords 2. And that's just an old favourite game of mine that I would play for hours on end with my friends back when I was still young, I guess. I also try to take a look at what's already there on YouTube before I choose what to Let's Play. For example, I chose to do Birthright, not just because it was a game I had a lot of fun with back in the 90s, or even because it's another game with a world that you can really immerse yourself in, but simply because when I started watching Let's Plays on YouTube, there just was no Let's Play series of that game on YouTube, so I uploaded a couple of introduction videos, asked if anybody else was interested in a full series, and I got a fair amount of response, so I decided to do my own Let's Play where I tried to beat the evil Great Gorgon with what's supposedly the hardest realm in the game. Then of course Kikoski started playing the game as well, and suddenly I got hundreds of views from people all implicitly comparing me with one of the funniest Let's Players out there, and that was almost scary, but you know, it was my series first, I did the game first, damn it, I want to finish it. Yeah, where do I get my ideas from to make my videos? Yeah, like I said, it usually starts with wanting to try something out, something that feels a bit fresh, and then when I have started a series, I want to finish it as well. I mean, maybe Elder Scrolls pacifism doesn't sound as fresh now as it did before Westside Luigi posted his Skyrim pacifist videos and got hundreds of thousands of views somehow, but when I started with Oblivion, I couldn't find anyone who played more than the beginning dungeon of the game as a pacifist, at least not while also doing Let's Play style commentary about it. In fact, a lot of people just seem to be bragging about how they could kill anyone they wanted, and even now, most Skyrim pacifists I see, not Westside Luigi, but most pacifists are really just trying to get someone else to kill people for them so they can loot everything the poor bastards ever owned. And I'd say that's a somewhat hypocritical form of pacifism, at least. I mean, of course, I'm sure playing and certainly watching completely hypocritical characters can be a lot of fun. If there's one other Let's Play Skyrim series that I would recommend, it's Punch Beef. Spelled B-E-A-F. Two guys recording together, sort of good-naturedly bickering and doing, I don't know, Gollum's approach to pacifism, I guess, you know. We could let her do it. Yes, she could do it. And yeah, they're also doing both master difficulty and permadeath as well. You know, if the character dies, they have to start over. So they spend quite a lot of time just running and screaming in blind terror. So yeah, that's really, really hilarious stuff.
Again, very comprehensive of you. I can tell you what, let's move on a little bit. What's the nicest thing that somebody's ever said to you about your videos?
That has to be when Nagadal146 said, because I do try to voice act my Skyrim character, he said that I was almost a better Let's Player than him. And I don't think that's true, but it was the nicest compliment that my videos have ever got. Although, I would like to feature you on my YouTuber Spotlight series, figures quite high as well.
Alright, you're really looking for the gold stars and brownie points here in this interview. So what plans do you have for the future?
Well, if you mean about YouTube, I'm going to finish my current Let's Plays, obviously, and there's going to be a speedrun video of my whole Oblivion series, which is taking me forever to make. But after that, I think I may take up some old turn-based war games again. I've kind of promised some more Warlord stuff, but I haven't really started planning that far ahead, to be quite frank.
Alright, and more specifically, do you have any hopes for your YouTube channel itself?
I don't really think much about that, to be honest. Except maybe... I think a lot of people thought my Pacifist Oblivion project sounded interesting, but didn't have the time to watch a whole series, and I mean, why should they? I mean, even though they tried to edit out some of the boring trading and stuff, it's still well over 30 hours long. But I do hope that people will watch that speedrun video I talked about, because it will probably just be one video and only 15, maybe 20 minutes long, but it still sums up most of the best moments in the series, and I spent a lot of time trying to make that entertaining. I even did some karaoke in there for all of 10 seconds.
Karaoke? Sing for us right now, I want to hear it. Demand
No,
it.
I'm not going to say anything more about that. You'll just have to watch it when it comes out.
It sounds actually quite interesting. I, for one, will certainly keep my eyes out and make sure that I definitely have the time to watch that. It's always a shame. There's so many Let's Plays out there and so many people doing so many things. It's so difficult to find the time to watch everything that everybody's coming out with. But I definitely keep my eye open for that. Let's move on actually to another subject. The darker side, the sad side of being a YouTuber. I suppose the first thing to ask is... have you ever had trouble from internet trolls?
I was prepared for a lot of flaming and trolling when I started playing Oblivion without killing people, but I don't think I've had more than maybe one sort of fully hatched troll on my channel.
What's the meanest thing that someone's ever said to you about you or your stuff on YouTube?
What was it he said again? I can't remember now, sorry. There was this one other guy who complained about my Skyrim character. He said my Skyrim character was an idiot because I didn't read one of the in-game messages that popped up once. But I mean, obviously, he wasn't mean or anything, he was just, right, I guess, which is of course much more infuriating, but then again, watching people screw up like that is half the fun of watching Let's Plays anyway, don't you think?
Yeah, I agree with you, actually. If failing wasn't fun and entertaining and held people's attention, I think myself and my own Let's Plays, I would have zero audience. It's nothing but fail. Right, now that we've dealt with most of that, let's move on to strange, ambiguous, binary questions. So, first of all, snow or sand?
Snow. I'm Norwegian.
So's my auntie. Alright, PC or console?
PC, definitely. I want mods.
Google or Bing?
Google or Bing? Bing who? Crosby?
iPhone or Android?
iPhone or Android? Android, I guess, although frankly I prefer phones where I can actually hit the keys.
Up or down?
Probably up first, then down, then turn left twice, consult a map, and realise I'm lost. Again. Did I mention I have no sense of direction whatsoever?
Night owl or early bird?
Both. Sleep is overrated.
Pirates or zombies?
Pirates?
Objective or subjective?
Objective! Objective! My experiments are 100% objective, and don't let anybody else tell you anything else, okay? Yeah, objective.
Brilliant. Okay, thank you very much. It's been great to have you on. And that's the end of our interview. Thank you very much for taking the time to speak with us. It's been great to have you on the show.
Yeah, it's been great talking to you too, Sam. Yeah, thanks again for having me on the show. As I usually say, go in peace and live and let live.
Right, guys. So that was it. That was our YouTuber Spotlight for today. When we come back, there'll be another YouTuber to look at, another YouTuber to get to know that little bit more. But that'll be for then. So until then, guys, stay safe, take care of yourself. Goodbye.